Hindi naman ako si Maria Clara, eh. Hindi rin naman ako gawa sa mga inaasahan ng mundo, pero etong balat kong 'to, mahal na mahal ko 'to ng buo.
What does it mean to be feminine? In a rapidly changing world, recognizing the regressive nature of outdated ideals that restrict women is imperative to progress. Women have started to reclaim their voices, their rights to freedom and control over their own bodies, gradually breaking free from the relentless grasp of long held beliefs of what a Filipina should be. For generations, the image of the ideal Filipina has been shaped by one name, Maria Clara. Gentle, modest, a symbol of purity and submission. An image romanticized and held up as the golden standard of womanhood in the Philippines.
Actually, if you read carefully how Rizal described Maria Clara, I doubt if she was being held up as an ideal. What he was describing was a woman confined to her place in society, not by physical means, but by her education, the limitations of her worldview, her upbringing, her view of herself.
This ideal has become a silent burden. For many years, it has limited how women are expected to present themselves, and its effects remain present in our society.
Dito sa Pilipinas, meron din tayong matagal na kasaysayan din sa pagtatato. Nung naengkwentro ng mga Kastila ang mga ninuno natin, syempre hindi pa tayo tawag na Pilipino. Tinatawag tayo sa bawat grupo kung ano yung wika na ginagamit natin. Hindi pa nabubuo yung concept ng Pilipinas, pero napansin din nila na napakalawak yung pag-practice ng pagtatato. At may mga kahulugan ito ayon doon kung ikaw ay lalaki o babae at kung ano antas mo sa lipunan. Malaking papel yung kolonisasyon ng Espanya. Kasi 333 years, tuloy-tuloy doon ang pagpapalaganap ng isang ideolohiya o yung pagtatanaw sa babae. Gradually, inabsorb din ng mga masses, yung mga Indios. Pero, porket lang tinuro ito at naging kasama ideolohiya, hindi ibig sabihin na lahat yan katanggap-tanggap. Dahil minsan din yung mga ibang babae, magre-resist din sila eh. Aayawin nila to, hindi nila gustong ganong sitwasyon.
With the introduction of conservative notions about femininity, the expressive nature of tattoos gradually become associated with stereotypes and stigmas, leading to a decline in both practice and symbolic significance. Among working women in the Philippines, this shift further reinforced societal expectations to appear modest and proper, making visible tattoos a source of professional scrutiny and social judgment. As a result, tattooed women in the workforce often face pressure to conceal their body art, navigating both cultural stigma and workplace bias.
And that is also part and parcel of the reality. Kasi we tend to think of patriarchy from the Spanish colonial period as something so heavily absolute. In fact, it was actually actively resisted. You'd have to take a look at Philippine history from the women's point of view now, to see how they dealt with these everyday issues, from the merely annoying to the outright dangerous expressions of patriarchy.
Colonialism reshaped how Filipinas were seen and treated. The once empowered image of women was then defined by foreign eyes. What was once strength and self-expression became something to hide or correct.
Gender norms often dictate how women should present themselves, conduct themselves. That emphasizes yung being modest, conforming to the usual, to the mainstream, adhering to societal expectations. And tattoos challenge these norms. They're a way for women to assert their right to do what they want with their bodies.
Patriarchal and traditional norms rooted in centuries of colonial influence continue to hold back the progress of Filipina identity. These norms dictate how women should speak, dress, and behave, rewarding submission and punishing self-expression. They teach girls to shrink themselves to fit outdated molds, silencing their stories before they're even told.
The act of decorating one's body in a way that's outside the norm is in and of itself a political act. Therefore, whether intentional or not, tattoos can serve as symbols of assertion, symbols of power, of women's bodily autonomy and gender rights.
As long as society clings to these limiting ideals, the future of women remains confined. Challenging these norms opens the door to a more inclusive future, one where Filipinas can reclaim their voices, their bodies, and their rightful place in shaping culture and change.